What's up out there? Welcome back to some more Runescape 3, and we are on episode 9. So, I think it's been a couple of weeks since I put a video out, at least 1 week, probably 2, I'm guessing 2. The last video I put out was the day before the Fort Friend 3 update came out, and I immediately stopped everything I was doing at that point and worked on this quest line, or this quest, and it only took, a couple hours or whatever, but you had to set aside time to go build the kitchen part and then do the quest and then come back and do the tier 2 of the kitchen, which I've been using this. I've been doing a lot of fishing up at Catherby, where you can go over here to, let's see. You can go up here, fish up here, and then drop it off at the bank. And then there's a little cooking range that's fairly close. So I've been using that route for most of my cooking needs up until now. And when I saw that they were going to put this kitchen in with that update, I said, man, I got to get into that and this is great. You literally go left to right. Like you don't have to walk anywhere or nothing. So I hit one of my XP bonuses the other day and then just cooked everything up that I had. So I love that that's there now. That's going to make life a lot easier. So I'm going to go fishing and deal with all that and rack up on fish. The other thing that I figured out, and that's why I have my pet back out, I have not been running my pet for a long time. I finally went in and looked into whatever you call those, where are they? The pets that let you carry stuff. These things. Beast of Burden, that's what I'm trying to think of. So I ended up going and buying some of these bull ant ones. I wasn't sure if I could buy, and I went to the Grand Exchange. Let me take that back. I tried growing some stuff, and I got like one. You're supposed to have all these flowers to grow. I couldn't buy any at the Grand Exchange, and I didn't want to wait for it, so I just went ahead and tried to craft it myself, or do the summoning part myself. But I went out and did some farming. I planted a patch of it. I got one flower out of the whole deal. So I said, you know what, this sucks. So I went to the Grand Exchange. I'm starting to see why people go to the Grand Exchange more and buy things and why you just go pay for it. So I ended up buying one of these bull ant deals. And for the Beast of Burden, I looked at, like, there was, a couple of different higher tiers of it, but they weren't in stock at the time. So I just didn't buy any. I bought a few of these. The problem is I was doing divination at the time, and you can't use them for divination, so that kind of sucked. I bought a few of them for when I do mining and any other gathering and stuff like that, fishing, things like that. So that's why I pulled my pet out. I was trying to tinker around with it, but my focus for the last couple weeks has been a lot into divination, which we're going to get into here. So I dug into that. The Murder on the Border quest, I did 2 other quests. One of them is the one that unlocks Memphis. So I've got this unlocked now, and I've got the Lodestone. Memphis is a phenomenal looking city. I didn't really get far into it. I went in and did the actual story quest. There was a trilogy from Al Kharid, and I'd already done the first two quests. I don't know why, but for some reason I wanted to come down in here to Memphis. For one, I wanted to unlock the Lodestone. But I can't remember if I was trying to get down here for fishing or something with archaeology or something. Mining, maybe. I'm not sure. There was some reason I wanted to come down here, and I was looking through the wiki, and I saw that quest, and I said, you know what? That is one. It's finishing off the other 2 quests that I'd already done. It opens up a whole bunch of other stuff, but I figured I would go finish it. So I spent some time down here in Memphis itself, working around in here. I went into the dungeon, whatever this dungeon is called, Shifting Sands or something like that. That was kind of a cool place. I went into that for a little bit. There's like no monsters or anything in there. You just kind of got to run through it real fast and open up chests and stuff. So I did that a few times, checked it out. From what I gather, there's a reputation system in that city. So you got to start picking factions at some point and doing some things. It's like a whole other pile of stuff to do, just like Anachronia is up here. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to shelf that for a little while. I'm not interested in working in this area at the moment, so I pushed it aside. But I did get into there. So I've got Memphis unlocked. And let's see. I also found Keldagrim. I don't know why I was down there. And then this Tazar City, or however you say that. That's because the other quest that I was doing was down here in Brimhaven, and I went over here and found this Zahar, however you say this. I found this place. I thought it was cool. I've been down to the Karamja a lot to come down here to the Shiloh village and stuff, but I hadn't really spent much time going on the northern part of it, and where Brimhaven and this volcano is. So I had to come up here to do a quest, and that quest was Tribal Totem, which spent time in Ardwan over here. I think that's how you say that. This was kind of a cool quest. You had to basically bounce around, like you had to go in and break into this guy's house. And the way you had to break into it was talking to the gardener. And then I don't know how you find this out without the wiki, but you had to go grab a book from this real estate agent. You had to go to find the dude's middle name up here. Then you had to go over to like an inventor guy that was inventing a teleporter, and then go over to this warehouse, switch the packing label, get the box shipped into the house, use the teleporter to go into here, and then figure out to check the stairwell for traps and stuff. And I ended up falling through because I didn't catch that part of the wiki, but I did all of that. That quest was done. I dug it. I just don't know how you're supposed to finish it like without knowing anything about the quest. That seems kind of odd. And then in the last video for the thumbnail, I used a evil tree, and I've been finding those things more and more. So I've been partaking in them, and it's been pretty fun. It's the tree itself kind of I laugh at the tree because it's this wicked looking trees all flailing around and stuff. So you cut off the tentacles and burn it and then chop it down until it dies. I kind of dig it. The thing that I really like about it is that the little leprechaun dude will teleport stuff for you, teleport logs specifically back into your inventory. So I've got a whole ton of logs now. I don't want the Fletcher. I want the bank chest. So I've been working on yew trees, I think. It's only 108, but it takes a while to chop them down. So I've been just hauling up logs as much as possible, because that's kind of the worst part of this construction area is getting the logs, especially normal trees, which I really probably need to build up some normal trees. Although at this point, I'd probably just go buy them. But anyway, I found those. I found another one of those little penguins running around, 00315, whatever he was. I saw him running around. And a while back, I did that oyster quest down at the bottom of the sea. I totally forgot about that thing. So I finally remembered to go check on it, and I didn't get anything good out of it, but then I redid it. I think the first time I did it, I had to wait like 20 days or something. And I think it was 6 days this last time. I'm not sure. I need to go back and check on it because it's definitely been longer than that. And then there was a wilderness flash event popped up like right over here somewhere. And I thought, you know what? It's real close. I'm going to go partake in it. Yeah, I was totally not skilled for that. I mean, everybody else was killing something. And then the one thing that I attacked, like I couldn't attack anything. I don't know if it's like instance based or whatever for that person or whatever. I could see the spiders, but I can only attack one of them, and I couldn't eat enough food fast enough. So I just ended up dying. That kind of sucked. But the big focus that I've had for the most part for the last couple weeks has been on divination. And I started off over here at level 60 something, I think, because this is level 60. I was over here in this Feldup Hills area working at this here. And I think I got this up to a point. I'm trying to remember when I started really diving into the Gathixian caches. It might have been here. In fact, I think it was, because it's been a little while since I went there. But I got this up to whatever level. And then once I hit level 70, I started moving over here into Canifus up at this one, the Lustrious one. So I did a lot of AFK grinding on this to get up to where I'm at. I did Gathixian caches as often as it rolled around, because it rolls around once an hour. You only get XP on it like 2-3 times a day, so I would get those. But the most important thing that I got out of the whole deal, and I wasn't sure what all the Gathixian caches gave you. I knew they could give you XP, but I didn't know what else you could get. I ended up getting all this diviner stuff. So now I've got a little XP boosting set out of that. So I did it enough to get these out of it. And there was probably 2 or 3 times that it didn't give me a reward. So I've done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 times, maybe 8, somewhere in there, enough to get this stuff out of it. So then I got to level 70 and I started going over by Canifus and working on that, and everything was going well over there. But then it dawned on me, because I forgot I'd been building up these, what are these, memory strands. So I remembered that once I hit level 70, I could go to the Hall of Memories. So I've been going over there, and that's been a pretty cool place. I dig this place quite a bit. Now, whether you go to the lustrous ones or go into this place and do the thing here, I don't know which one's necessarily better for more XP or whatever, but I've been doing this place here and there. I went through the little robot deal to where you get the one buff out of it, but then there's the rest of this. The thing that sucks is you got to chase these around. Like I can only do lustrous right now. I can't do any of the others. So I'm either working on this faded memory or the lustrous, and these things change all the time. You get more XP off of these, but this faded is more stable. So I've been working on this thing, and then you get the little overloads every once in a while. I kind of like this place, and I don't know if this is where I have to like be from now on. But I don't know. I kind of dig this place. But the thing that sucks is when you start working on divination, they give you these memory strands, and you're like level 5 or something, or 10 or whatever it is when you get them. And they're like, hey, you can go to the Hall of Memories, and you know, you're thinking, cool, I can get in there. But then you get here and you can't get in until level 70. And then I totally just forgot about the place until I saw those memory strands pop up, and I'm like, oh, hey, I can go back in there and do that. So I finally got around, I finally could get in there and go check that place out, and I did. So it was kind of cool. And then let's see here. The last thing I did, well, all right. So I worked at the one spot for divination, then I went over by Canifis for divination, then I went into the Hall of Memories, and I hit level 75. At level 75, they tell you that you can go get these Elder Wisps, and you need this Fate of the Gods quest. I think Fate of the Gods is in like the middle of another story quest, so I haven't really wanted to go into that. I want to start the quest and go through it, so I've kind of stopped. I probably need to jump on this and get this going, because this might open up Sentencing and stuff like that. And that's what I'm stopped with archaeology, because I want to get into that place and start checking those areas out, but I'm locked out. You know what I mean? So I need to do some other things to get into here and get this open. I mean, I could keep going up until level 80 unlocks the brilliant ones, and that's fine. But I'd kind of like, and I kind of hit a stopping point is what I'm saying. So I got to level 75 divination, and then I just stopped because I want to try to unlock that place first, but I need to work through quests and all that. But my crafting was very much behind. I think I had like level 55 crafting or something like that, somewhere in that realm. It was like in the mid 50s. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start working on crafting. And I had been dumping my XP lamps on, if I haven't mentioned it, I was dumping my XP lamps in thieving, prayer, strength, and then finally crafting. I wasn't sure where to put it, but I was looking at skills that I wasn't working on, like thieving, prayer, and strength was really low. But thieving and prayer specifically, because prayer is kind of expensive, I guess, and I just haven't been working on it exactly. So I've been spending my XP lamps to get to it, and thieving, I don't know, I just haven't been bothered by it. So I just dumped all those into there. But then I started needing to get crafting leveled up. So I spent a significant amount of time in Shiloh Village. I came down here, and I can't do the shortcut yet, so I got to do the whole long way around, unfortunately. But there's this miner's pit right here that you can just go. I went and got a gem sack, and I just kept filling that thing up, filling my inventory up, running over here to the bank. I need to take my pet down there and fill that up too. And I've been working on gemstones out of there, so I've got a ton of gemstones here. And I've been leveling up, and then I started dumping my XP lamps into stars and that lamps and all that crap into there. Let's see. I've got a few hundred of each of these, the diamonds, the rubies, and the emeralds. So I spent a little bit of time there, probably 2 or 3 1-hour sessions, 45-minute sessions, something like that. I spent a while until I got kind of sick of it, and I'm like, all right, I want to go do something else. And then I decided I was going to come back here and do some smithing to try to get smithing up to 74, 75, something like that. Because I need smithing at 80, crafting at 80, and divination at 80. So some of these are very close. Obviously, crafting's pretty far off at 69. But the other thing I found out too is I was over leveled. Some bonus popped up here, and I actually had my crafting leveled up high enough to where I could do all the blue dragon stuff. So I went and actually, I tried to kill some dragons, but somebody else was already there killing stuff, and my inventory got filled up really quickly, and it wasn't that great. So I went to the Grand Exchange, bought some blue dragon hide, and then I came in here and I whipped up a suit of blue dragon hide for my ranged character. And this is all level 50, so I can equip it. Now I'm at level 60 range, so I can get better stuff, but this is better than what I had, because I haven't really been working on ranged at all. I dumped XP lamps to get to this pretty much. So shortcutted a whole bunch of progress there, but I don't have the gear for it. And you know, this was an opportunity. I'd never been buffed like that, where you were over leveled and you could use it to create things. So I didn't catch on to what was going on at first. So I thought, oh, cool, I can go build these dragonhide bodies. I think it was the bodies. They're the most XP. So I crafted a few of those. And then I started noticing that my level was dropping, and it clicked. I'm like, oh, that's a bonus. It's going away. So I went ahead and whipped up some of the other pieces just to have a full set of this to equip. And then spent the rest. I think the helmets, that's why there's 10 helmets, because that was like the last thing that went away. So I spending quality time with that stuff. And then of course, I think I leveled up a little bit since then. So I can do these now, I think. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked, quite honestly, because I came over here and started smithing stuff, and I now have a full set of Necronium gear, which I need to fully upgrade these to all the +5s or whatever. And I just started doing that. I just built this the other day, and now I need to start upgrading it all. I had to go do some mining and stuff like that. So, you know, it all works out. Like I need to mine, I need to gain mining levels anyway. I need to do smithing anyway. So it's not a big deal. But that is where we are today. So I'm going to have to wrap this up because it's been a long update. I need to get back into doing these weekly so I don't have these massive updates. But anyway, that is where I'm at. I don't really have any hard, fast plans on how I'm going to go forward. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of AFK stuff like I have been. One of the things I want to do very, very strongly is to jump into quests. And I want to jump and get as many of these quests done as possible. The problem is these quests, even when they say they're simple, they still take 15, 20, 30 minutes to do. So finding the time, and especially after a long day of work and doing other stuff, and then getting to sit down and do, you know, play, I'm kind of burned out on dealing with this stuff. So I usually do the AFK stuff. That's why I don't, you know, I want to prioritize those quests though and knock as many of those out, because I'd love to be getting into the newer quests, much newer quests, and I know I could probably skip over them. I just don't want to. I don't know. We'll see where things go. But anyway, that will do it for this one. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.